Hello, good evening, and welcome to Number Station. Number Station is an online radio station that trawls the sea of kilohertz in search of amateur radio transmissions and the occasional shortwave oddity. May I draw your attention to begin with to the Number Station website, numberstation.co.uk, where you'll find a wealth of information, all based around the concept of shortwave and FM broadcasting, as well as the opportunity to listen back through some of our archived recordings. I want to talk about the website for a little bit longer than I usually do, and it sort of follows on from last week's episodes about finding quirky, unique online radio stations. I am a big fan of radio, as you know, and I'm a big fan of one site in particular, have been for years, and it's what inspired me to create the Number Station website. The station, or the online radio station website I'm referring to, is one called You Are Listening To. You Are Listening To was great back in the day. I think it still is good, but I think it's sort of losing its way a bit, so I would check it out as soon as possible. You Are Listening To allows you to tune in to police, scanners, fire service radios, and all manner of different services. But what makes it different, or what made it popular all those years ago, was it allowed you to mix your own ambient backing track, very similar to what Number Station and myself are doing this evening. This was very unique and never been done, and You Are Listening To soon gained a massive following as a result. Now, I'm likely to get a copyright strike if I start up the backing track from the website, so we're going to stick with the one that's currently playing at the minute. But let's dial in to the Phoenix Police and have a listen to see what they're doing this evening.
In custody, 1326 Mississippi.
622, I'm some of the 459 Robin.
Holding 847 Victor, 760 Southern. Tuesday Davidson.
You are currently listening to
760 Southern Avenue,
You Are
Unit
Listening To
110 Bravo. Our complainant noticed her gray code in Malibu was gone a couple weeks ago, but sees that it's back and has a temp plate on it, 2 Edward 80414. Parked in a different parking spot. There are cameras in the parking lot, and so the 90-day permit type was not put on by her. We have Monique for contact at 958. VA Berg, Motion Zone Southeast. Looks like they spoke with Lydia, who is the RP, stated this was closed today and requested PD at 9:58 hours. Units to follow.
Like I said, you are listening to was a brilliant website back in the day. You can see all the different services, police radio scanners you can tune into. We are currently listening to Phoenix. But over time, this site started to change. For example, it would start to bring in advertising. Now, I completely understand why, but it felt very wrong. It went against what it was trying to originally achieve. Also, it allowed guest feeds in, so I was a big fan of the NASA one, and there are also other special feeds available to listen to, including recordings from number stations. Number stations we've covered many times before, and if you're not sure what a number station actually is, I invite you to go back through previous shows and pick one out that features number stations. And no doubt we'll be featuring number stations once again in future episodes. But here on You Are Listening To, you could listen to archived recordings of number stations. Unfortunately, most of these now don't work. In addition to all this, users could create their own feeds. And as you can see here, we've got birdsong, we've got coding, whatever that means, Detroit rain, Montreal rain, and restaurant ambience. And again, these were really good to listen to and very clever at including the community in what it was trying to achieve. Unfortunately, not many of these are working now either, which is a real shame. It's sort of starting to fall off a cliff slightly, which is really sad because, like I said, I remember listening to this all those years ago. I'm very pleased that the site is still going, but it's not what it used to be. Let's continue listening to Phoenix for a few minutes more and see what they have to say today.
Facial Ocean is going to be Trespasser 6709 West Indian School Road. Information is still the same. Jose and I'm fully for contact at 10:01 hours.
And that's the website you are listening to, which it would appear is not a lot. It's very much the look of the draw, isn't it? With anything, what we're listening in these episodes, sometimes it's really busy, but you do get evenings when it is really quiet, and I suspect tonight is going to be one of those evenings. So let's move over to the Number Station website, my website that I built. I decided to mimic this, take some of the good points, take my archived recordings of shortwave transmissions and amateur radio conversations and overlay them with backing tracks as well. I built a very simple website to allow people to listen to those archived mixes. So let's spend a moment or two listening to some of those. If you want to listen in the future, all you have to do is visit numberstation.co.uk and just hit the music player at the top where it will select one at random and it will keep cycling through the recordings. Let's listen to a few of those now.
This is Florida 5, Papa Yankee India, Fox on the air, Seki Pota. Seki Pota, Seki Pota, Seki Fox on the air, Florida 5, Papa Yankee India, calling Seki Fox on the air, Seki Pota. Seki Pota, Seki Pota, Seki Fox on the air, Florida 5, Papa Yankee India, Foxtrot 5, Papa Yankee India, Seki Pota. Seki Pota, Seki Fox on the air, Florida 5, Papa Yankee India, Florida 5, Papa Yankee India, Seki Pota. Florida 4, Italie, Lima Hotel. Salut Jean-Baptiste, F4 India, Lima Hotel, 59. Salut Laurent, tu es 55, 55, merci beaucoup pour les repas, 73. Merci 73, à bientôt, this is Florida 5, Papa Yankee India, Fox on the air, Seki Pota.
If you were wanting to start your own little niche radio station, I would definitely recommend it. It is really easy to do. And if you find a topic interesting, guaranteed there'll be others out there who also find it just as interesting. But what really made my little niche radio station really take off was YouTube. And you're listening to this on YouTube Live. It also goes out on another platform, which I'll cover in another episode. But the majority of listeners now, or during catch-up during the week, which is what most people do, you'll be listening to this on YouTube Live. And YouTube Live has done incredible things to this station. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscription button. I know people go begging for those subscriptions presses, but it really does help. It honestly helps. So if you haven't already done so and you've made it this far, please do hit that subscribe button. One click really does make all the difference. If we look down the website, we can see there's an option to mix your own. So rather similar to the You Are Listening To website, you can select your own backing track and you can select your own archive recording to mix your own. There's also a section on how to build your own number station. If you recall, number stations feature quite heavily on this in recent episodes. And there's information in there to help build your own, including information about FM transmitters. Progressing further still, you can request a number station listener sticker and be the envy of all your friends. So just follow the email address link below and I'll send out a few listener stickers to you wherever you are in the world. And finally, as sort of like an addition or a work in progress, I am trying to put together a print and play game, dice game, based on the concept of shortwave listening. And I'd appreciate if people would have a play with this. It takes about 20 minutes to play. I have a set of rules here, and all you need to do is print out the sheet that you're seeing on screen. Have a dice with you and a pencil, and away you go. And the idea is you pick your location and then you try and completely work or make contact with one of the continents around the globe. And once you finish, you total it up and you have a score. It's not perfect, but it took a while to work things out. There's quite a bit of maths involved with this game, trying to balance it. I'm not sure that it's properly balanced at the minute, but only time will tell, and I require more people to play it. So if you're stuck one afternoon with something, looking for something to do, then head over to the Number Station Print and Play game. Anyway, enough about my talking. Let's head on over ourselves and do our own band scanning to see what transmissions we can listen in on this evening from around the world. As I've said before, there is a risk that it might be rather quiet this evening, but let's go fishing and see what we can hear.
Принято. Спасибо за хороший рапорт. Вопросов нет у меня. Самое теплое пожелание на Францию. You family, many years. Fox 5, Papa Tango Alpha, this is 1BQ, 73, good luck.
Ромашки единица, батюшка, Шука. Как у вас сразу вопрос, маленький сразу вопрос. Как у вас погода питерская, прием?
Да, понятно. Плюс 6 идет дождь. Чисто наша погода, прием.
Да, вот как это, сапогов, ага. Мокрый, дожди появились. У нас нет за нас, это температура 21, да? 21 градусов Celsius.
Puisque j'arrive fort chez vous, pas de problème. Voilà. Ok. Eh ben, écoutez, bonne soirée. Et le plaisir de se réentendre. Bon trafic. Et bah oui, si vous trouvez... Ouais, ça peut peut-être être une idée de trouver des fabricants de bateaux de l'Atlantique, là, qui descendent...
5858 por acá, el cambio es tuyo, vamos.
Parce que moi, porter des pilotes à la ferraille, j'aime pas trop. Voilà, bonne journée, Jean-Pierre, bonne soirée, et moi, Jean-Pierre, et Alpha Romeo Lima.
We are using WebSDRs to listen in on these transmissions this evening. WebSDRs are a clever piece of software that through your browser allow you to control and receive radio transmissions from antennas further out, are all dotted all around the country. If you would like to learn more, then just Google WebSDRs. Now I have a couple that I'm very fond of and use them quite a lot in these episodes. And you can see the web address at the top. But let's try and hunt out some transmissions that are closer to home. So I'm going to move on to my second WebSDR, and let's have a listen to see what we can capture this evening closer to home.
Could be 6 foot of snow tomorrow. You won't be going anywhere. No, I don't think so. Who knows? This is England. It could be anything. Right. 7-3 for now. 7-3? From Joe as well there, yes. And the radio will stay on tonight until we go to bed. But that's not far away. 2 hours must be in bed. Okay, 7-3s. Thanks for the help. See you for him, DJ.
I had a feeling that it'd be a rather quiet evening. On the web SDRs, we have what we call a waterfall, and you can see the signals cascading like a waterfall. And there's not many of them to tune in on. Let's try this one, for example. If we click here at the bottom, we can automatically take our tuner there, and I'll just turn up the volume.
Tuesday, South Manchester Radio Club.
And let's have a listen.
It's on 145.475 MHz from 8 p.m. On Thursday, members are meeting for a discussion on club nets. And finally, Warrington Amateur Radio Club has a solar Sunday every week from 2 p.m. On Tuesday, members are meeting from 8 p.m. in their club room and via Zoom. On Thursday, members will be meeting for coffee morning at 10 a.m. So that brings us to an end of this week's GB2RS news broadcast, which was prepared by the Radio Society of Great Britain. As you may be aware, GB2RS is not licensed for two-way communication. I haven't taken any calls for repeats or reports under my own call sign of Golf 0, Victor Victor Tango, after close down. And I've just noticed I was a bit low on power on 144. So for this week, that's all from GB2RS. So first I'll listen on 4 meters. Anybody there? Nothing heard. I'll close down on 4 meters and we'll open up on 2 meters. Golf 0, Victor Victor Tango.
XJ8.
4 Whiskey Alpha Mike. XJ8, go ahead.
Charlie Papa November. Mike 0, X-ray Juliet Alpha.
X-ray Juliet Alpha, go ahead.
Roger, Roger, yeah, just testing the radio here and I've been listening to the news and thanks for reading it as usual. Good for all the blobs. I can't tell you what number it is, but all the blobs, so it's well over 5 and 9. So you might have been on reduced power, but we didn't need it to get here. This is about 25 watts. I don't know what you're reading me like there, Eddie. So anyway, thanks very much.
4 5s.
Roger.
And of course, please, I know there was over 2, but I forgot your call signs.
Whiskey Alpha Mike, Eddie.
Whiskey Alpha Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Golf 4 Whiskey Alpha Mike. 59 plus, manage your like, as per normal on 2. Thanks very much for the news, Eddie. Hope you're having a good day. 4 seemed a little down for me, but as you know, I've got no antenna. 4-4, but I'm just receiving, and it just seemed a little bit down on 4 meters, but all copy all over.
Yeah, I haven't keyed on 4 meters, but it was usual power.
On this net that's, here in the city of Ottawa and worldwide. So, and I'm also thankful that, we're not at war here in Canada, so to speak. So I think we're quite lucky. It's a sad situation for other countries in the world right now, but hopefully we can come to some sort of resolution soon for our troubling neighbors around the world. So that's it for me. Thanks, Dave. Back to net control from Victor Alpha 3, Juliet Papa X-ray.
Thank you so much, James, for checking in today, and thanks for sharing that with us. And we have a lot to be thankful for, especially this year as well, with the turmoils in other countries for sure. Okay, thanks, James. Appreciate that. And I'm going to open it up to the west at this point, and we'll if there's anybody that can check in the east, we'll have a window of opportunity for you to check in here in a little later on in that, but I want to move it along. And I want to move to the west and to the north. So Victor Echo 4 and west, and the northern part of Canada. Check in now, please. Your net control, Victor Echo 5 Uniform Oscar. My name is Dave. I'm located in Saskatoon. Please join us now.
Echo 4 Golf Whiskey Sierra, Georgia, Edmonton.
Victor Alpha 7 Sierra Lima, recheck. I didn't think I'd stick around, but I will. EA7 or so.
Victor Echo 4, November, Lima, portable, rolling.
All right, I'm just going to stop the list real quick there because there were 1 or 2 Victor Echo 4 stations I didn't get. There was a portable, and then I had one that doubled with Gary. Victor Echo 4 stations, join us now.
Victor Echo 4, Delta Bravo Zulu, David.
Victor Echo 4, Golf Whiskey Sierra, George and Brandon.
Victor 4, November, Lima, portable.
It certainly... Oh, there goes my phone again. It certainly would. You didn't have a central hub which is more closer, wouldn't you, for stuff like that?
Yeah, well, they don't. I went there the other week, felt seen, me check-up, my first month check-up, and the girl said, well, the specialist nurse, basically what she's got to do, she'll do this next blood test.
For Golf Whiskey Sierra and Victor Echo 4, November Oscar Lima. So we'll start at the top of the list. And over to you, Gary. How are things in Edmonton? And what are you thankful for? Go ahead.
Victor Echo 6, Delta Zulu, in the danger zone in Edmonton. Well, I'm thankful for family that are still with me, and my 2 puppies. That's like family of themselves. You know, they're still in reasonable good health and enjoying their lives. And well, I'm thankful for being able to put together a nice Go box and ham radio gear, and all my friends out there, both local and around the world, that I've been able to chat with and have good QSOs with on ham radio and stuff. The hobby itself is definitely one of those great things that stick with you though your whole life. And I'd like to give you a thought here, if I may. You know, folks, pretty much all of us come into this world in diapers, and a good portion of us, most of us, end up leaving this world in diapers. So keep that in mind for the future. Have a great day, folks. Check out my QSZ page and be thankful for every day you're on this planet. Be 60.
And on that nugget of wisdom, we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this global tour of the bands this evening. It wasn't as quiet as initially feared, which was really good. I also hope you enjoyed a little insight into how the Number Station website was formed, and I do recommend, although it does have its problems, heading on over to youarelistening.to. There's a link in the description. Very grateful and hope to see you next time on Number Station.